Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're streaming to you live on yorbamedia.com. And my guest this segment is Nick Santiago, President and CEO of In the Money Stocks. Nick, welcome back to the show.
Great to be back, Michael. Thank you for having me.
All right, my pleasure. All right, you wanted to start off talking today about China, right?
Yeah, I did. Last night, or I should say this morning rather, China cut interest rates by a quarter point. I don't think that the reason why I bring it up is I don't think that rate hike is going to really have much more of an effect than maybe a week or two. Right now, I know the commodity stocks that I'm looking at or the base metal stocks that should have reacted today are reacting very poorly. I think it's going to be a short-lived event, and I would not pay much attention to it. I've received countless emails today from many of my members that have been asking me, Nick, what about this China rate cut? Is going to make a big decision, a big deal out of the market. Things are going to start to really rally and inflate. And today, you can see all the base metal stocks. While they're up a little bit, they're really not having good action. Freeport-McMoRan in particular, stocks only up 7 cents today, and it's really reversed sharply off the high. So I just want to point out that China news is really a quarter point's not putting a dent in that place right now.
Okay, now you're looking at a place to short Freeport or copper, or
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Freeport-McMoRan right now, to me, the $36 level looks like a stone cold short. Maybe it goes a little bit more than that, 36 and a quarter. But honestly, I don't see anything in this stock right now outside of a dead cat bounce.
Okay. You've got a remarkable history here on the show of calling it right. Where do you see a downside projection to on this thing?
Well, ultimately, believe it or not, I think this is going to go down to probably in the near term, once it breaks convincingly, 27, and then ultimately down to around $22, $23.
Wow. Okay, so you're just shorting. Are you just shorting the stock? Are you buying puts? How are you trading this?
There's a variety of ways of playing it. Another way of playing it would be when Freeport gets up to around 36 to buy the BOM.
There you go. I wanted to hear this. Go ahead.
Yep, which is the double short base metals if you want to take on a little bit more extra risk. And that BOM is going to have upside to probably $16, $17. So when this thing gets to, I'm going to say, it's hard to pinpoint it exactly, but somewhere around that $13 area, I'd be interested in buying a BOM up to around $16, $17.
Okay, all right, that makes good sense. All right,
it's a good way to play it.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I take it you're really not convinced that we've seen a low in the stock market yet.
No, not at all.
Okay.
This is all. I don't even know what we should call it, but it's just noise. You got a lot of central bank mumbo jumbo coming out. Even the Bernanke today came out, and he didn't really say anything. You see gold plummeting. This morning, before the opening bell, I even told my subscribers gold is weak to start the day. There's no QE mention that's going to happen. And again, we talked on your program, I think even last week, we said the Federal Reserve is not in a place or position to implement another quantitative easing, especially while they have an Operation Twist going till the end of June. That would actually defeat any purpose. If they're going to do a quantitative easing, it will be later this year, and I believe it will be, and it will happen, but it'll definitely be later this year.
Okay. I'm just chuckling. I'm watching this J.P. Morgan because you're the one that opened it up to me. Are you thinking that the banking industry? I mean, this is off topic here, but I wanted to get your feeling on this. J.P.
Sure.
Morgan. Do you think we're at a place where this may start to turn around here?
To the upside?
To the downside? No.
Oh, yeah.
It rallied the last 3 days.
Oh yeah. This is not done. This is a little break right now in the tape. The market's just JPM is hanging in there. All the financials, but Bank of America is going to go down to $5 again. So I mean, this is all of these financials look ugly. One thing I wanted to bring up since you brought it up, I talked about on your show was a lot of people talk about this J.P. Morgan trade as going bad and sour, but what people don't realize is that Prudential reported earnings on May 2nd, and the stock was clobbered right after that. And take a look at that chart, Michael. You'll see that it went from basically $60 all the way down to $45. It's gotten a little bit of a dead cat bounce here, but they were the first company to report a derivative loss, and that's the reason for their stock plunging lower. Then you get JPM, which is what the media is focusing on. But if Prudential did it and JPM did it, it's telling me a lot of these other ones did it too. So
we got a key reversal on this on the JP Morgan today. It rallied up long tail and then turned around and closed down near its open. Or it's
you got a reversal day today to the downside. Yeah. The open. Yeah, you do. I mean, these things are just setting up right now to all go lower, in my opinion.
Okay, so we may see that middle June, or that latter part of June through July low as some kind of a washout to come. If people aren't careful right now, they can get hurt.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that is getting bullish right now should check themselves into an asylum. This is not the time to get bullish. This is the time to get defensive and to be prepared for further downside.
Okay, I'm with you. Enough of that. I mean, you said it. You can't say it again. FXI, what do you think?
Yeah, FXI is setting up right now to go down. This is China. I'm hoping this thing can get to 36. Even today, this is another one that's reversed off the highs of the day, which is a bearish sign, especially after a China rate cut. But this is the iShares China 25 Index Fund. Look to sell this thing. This thing's going a lot lower.
Okay. Got it. Now, we've had a long-standing question in the shout box. TLT, what's your thoughts on that? Let me get over there and read this to you.
Oh, is that the TLT?
Yeah, it says, I've got a guest in here. It says, what price does Nick think the TLT tops out at and roughly when?
Well, when I was on your show, I said, you got to watch the 130 area. That would be first target. Then it would need to pull back. The TLT, if you look at the chart, went up to around 130.38. And we pulled back from there. I think the TLT is doing nothing more than resetting to go a lot higher. But this is a good pullback. If you could get this, we could see this thing gets into the 120 area. I think it's a buy again.
Do you think it really will get there?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But if it does, jump all over it. But I don't know if it gets there. But, when I see these kind of pullbacks like this, we just have to take it in stride. You never want to chase the market. It's had a great move already. I'd love to see it get down there, maybe 120, 121, and then, it's poised to go up to 135.
Okay, all right, that was the other question. All right, now the QQQ.
Yeah, the QQQs are another one. I know everybody is looking at the NASDAQ as the leader, but the NASDAQ has actually lagged, and it's lagging today in a big way. The NASDAQ is actually negative right now by about 9 points on the session, where the Dow Jones Industrial Average is higher by 0.5%. So anytime the Dow leads, just an eye-opener for a lot of your listeners, that's a negative. You never want to see the Dow leading ever because that's telling you money is going into dividend-paying equities. It's not going into the risk equities such as the NASDAQ stocks or the Russell 2000 stocks. But one thing I want to say is we get a little bit more of a bounce because of Options X next week. Get ready to short the NASDAQ. I think Apple is also showing signs of weakness already, and I talked about that last week on your show. Apple gets, maybe a little bit higher here. That's a short too. So it does none of these stocks, including Apple, which is basically probably 20% of the NASDAQ 100, are showing me any real strength.
Okay, what's so special about the JJC?
Well, the JJC is copper. So on a day like today, the dollar was down early. JJC couldn't even catch a bid, and that just kind of confirms what we're talking about when we regard copper as going lower. I ultimately believe this JJC is going down to 39 and possibly even $35 before it's said and done.
Okay. Is there a special place you're looking to get in on this?
Anywhere. I mean, you could, if you have a little tolerance and you don't mind putting a stop above the 200-day moving average, you probably could get in now. If you want to wait, see if it could get up towards that 46 level, short it to death. This should go lower.
Okay. And GLD.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about gold because today gold is making a big reversal. I know people were getting very, very bullish. I can't tell you how many people are calling the low in gold right here. Gold is not scheduled, in my book, to bottom until the latter part of the year. So I think this was a good bounce for gold. It's selling off today, reversed yesterday. I had talked about the 160 level on the GLD being the resistance point for gold. It didn't quite get there, missed it by about 75 cents. But in any case, it's coming down. Again, anybody looking to own gold and silver, you want to look towards the latter part of the year.
You have threaded the needle more times than anybody else on this show. I mean, you're really good at this
Appreciate
stuff.
That. Thank you, Mike.
No problem. All right. What's more? Because I got off into that. Give me the low that you're looking for in the gold market.
Well, I think gold it could trade a little bit lower than the recent low. So if you're looking at the spot price, I do think that it can go a little bit lower, but I'm just thinking this is the final thrust. One more move down, and then it's going to be the opportunity to own gold again. Could it get to 1,500, maybe even 1,450? Those would be some areas I think you could be very attracted to on gold. I'm not saying it's definitely going to get there. I mean, we need to see how these patterns play out, but that's a level I'm going to be very attracted to.
Okay. Before we go, give us a web address so they can get into that trading room with you.
Sure. Come over to InTheMoneyStocks.com. Take a free trial to our intraday chat room. You'll have me and my partner all day long. You can also come over, test drive our research center, give it a shot. We offer a 7-day free trial there as well. You'll get all of our videos, all of our cycle work. You'll also get all of our trade setups for swing trades. You'll get our cycle work, which is very, very good for investors, for people who want to time the market, when they should be in, when they should be out. I've also got a lot of people now, Michael, that are using our services, that are trading their own 401k and their retirement plans, and they've given up on their money managers. When should I get aggressive and when should I be safe? And, we provide it all.
Got it. Great. Thanks so much, Nick. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for having me, Michael. Have a great day.
My pleasure. Everybody, Nick.